All right. I got a story to tell. Here's my car. All right. Looks fine, right? Looks perfectly fine. But you know what the issue is? It's not starting. Okay. But I got a story to tell. So here's what happened, right? As I sit in the car waiting for roadside assistance to come and pick me up and take me to a mechanic, it is now approximately 8 in the morning. I got a text message from them saying that they'll be here in about 180 minutes. It is what it is, right? But I got a story to tell. Thank you guys so much for liking this video, impromptu live stream, okay? Hey, thank you so much. Can you hear me, Miss Lackey? Let me know if you can hear me, all right? Now, got a story to tell. Because I want you guys to hear the story. It makes no sense if you guys can't hear the story, but I got a story to tell. So last night, I'm watching one of my favorite YouTubers, Jake Sloan, all right? What's going on, Bangs? And I'm watching him, right? You know, I watch him every Wednesday. He goes live every Wednesday. He's a tech camera YouTuber, so he gives like valuable information about cameras, specifically in the Sony ecosystem, right? The Sony camera ecosystem. So like he's a very warm-hearted dude, right? Good morning, everybody. Really nice guy. Really nice guy. And so I watch him every week. And as I'm sitting in my basement, my office area, water starts coming in from the rain. And I'm thinking, no big deal. It happens on occasion with hard rain, like heavy rain. Let me get my wet dry vac, set it up, I'm good to go. So I'm listening to Jake Sloan, right? At the same time, Ruslan, who's another one of my favorite YouTubers, had Hafiz from the Roommates podcast on the show. So I'm like watching two YouTube videos at the same time. So the wet dry vac is going, and it gets full. So I go to empty it, and as I'm going to empty it, there's water at the opposite side of the basement. That never happens. I'm like, yo, it's only raining a little bit. Like, what's happening? I had no clue how bad we were going to get hit. So I'm like, I may have to go to Home Depot to go and get me another wet dry vac. So I called the boys downstairs and said, boys, I need you guys' help. Get this area rug up. I went to go check on the sub pump. The sub pump is working. I'm good. I just need about 10 minutes to go to Home Depot. Please monitor the water coming into the basement. Use a wet dry vac on both sides. Alternate. They get to work. I get in my car. Start my car. I get down the road. I get down the block, and I'm like, okay, there's a little bit of flooding, and this rain is coming down really hard. I didn't know. Had no clue. So as I'm driving, I go down the main road that is on my street, because my street is like on a dead end. Very nice block too. Lovely neighbors. I make a right turn, and I go my route to Home Depot, which usually takes about 2 minutes. I'm pretty close. And what's going on? And good morning. And as I get to the street that I'm about to turn on to go to Home Depot to get to the big main road, I'm like, yo, is that water? So I get close. I'm like, yo, this street is flooded. Cut a U-E. I'll go down the other way, right? Other direction. And by the way, it's not COVID. I got phlegm in my throat, whatever. So as I go around, I go to the main road, the other main road, another alternate route, and the cops stop all cars from going in that direction. I'm like, yo, Home Depot is literally right there. I can see it. I can throw a pebble at Home Depot. So I go back around looking for alternate routes. It took me almost 25 minutes to get to Home Depot, and nobody was on the main road. And I'm like, I wonder why. I finally get to Home Depot. I'm there maybe 2 minutes. I go in, get a wet dry vac, and I get this wet dry vac. This is a smaller one, but I'm going to tell you what I did with the bigger one. So now I get the wet dry vacs, and I put it in the car. I bought it. And then the people are telling me you got to be careful because Route 22 is shut down. I said, yo, I just came through Route 22. I'm good. I got this. I go to try to get on the highway. The Route 22. And the route that I took, completely flooded. The one that I took to get there, in a matter of like 5 minutes, completely flooded. So I tried to use an alternate route. That route, flooded. Another route, flooded, right? One side, there was a barrier separating one of the streets, one of the roads, right? And I was on like, not the dry, but like it wasn't flooded. But you can see the water on the other, like the opposite direction, cars coming in the opposite direction, you see the barrier and the water coming over the barrier. I was like, yo, I'm going back. So I finally go back, right? And yeah, I'm driving, and everywhere I turn, there's flooded streets. So I'm like, oh, I gotta get home. Like, my basement's gonna get flooded. My family needs me. So I drive around, I'm driving around, and I finally get to a block that looks like it's gonna be clear. All right, it's the block. Let me show you. It's the block right there. That block right there. So I drive down that way, and I'm like, okay, this is good. I'm about to get home. It's gonna take me to the main road, like the main street. I'm about to get home, right? The problem is further down the street, because if you look here, there's sidewalk here. There's sidewalk, if you can see. Further down the street, there's no sidewalk. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna watch the sidewalk. The brick paving on the side. There's not a sidewalk, but there's brick paving on, separating the people's yards from the street. And as I'm driving, right, I'm looking. I'm like, okay, the brick paving disappeared, but I didn't think it was because of the flood. I thought it disappeared because some houses didn't have that same pattern of yard. And as I'm driving, just like that, water is like literally like right halfway at my car. I'm like, no! So I hit the car, I stopped the car, put it in reverse, try to back out. Car stalled. I'm like, no, what am I going to do? Call the wife? You're not going to believe this, the car stalled. She was like, no, she was worried. She said, I'm coming to get you. I said, no. If you come to get me, you're going to get stalled too. It's really bad out here. You do not go anywhere. You stay home. So ultimately, I get out the car, right? And, let's go for a walk. I ain't got nothing to do. I got time. So, I want you guys looking at my license plate. Some of you guys are going to try to come and find me. Nah. Listen. Try to come and find me. First, if you come in peace, I'm going to give you a hug and say, hey, welcome. But listen, so I come down this street, right? I turn here because that way was flooded. So I turn here. I'm driving all the way down this block. I'm like, yo, I'm good. There is absolutely no flooding, right? No flooding. I get to about right where that white car is, right? I get there and complete flood. And not only that, the flood was rising. The water was coming this way. So I get out my car, right? And I start pushing the car in knee-deep water up this street by myself, right? Trying to like push, stop, turn the wheel, push, stop, turn the wheel, push, stop, turn the wheel. I pushed the car all the way from the corner because I made it to the corner. I pushed the car all the way up this way, right, by myself, right? One of the neighbors was like, hey, you need help? You okay? I said, no, it was a young lady. I said, no, I don't want you coming out here, and no, I got it. So I was soaked. I was in my, Columbia boots that did absolutely nothing. It didn't help, right? So I made it. I'm walking, right? I was pushing the car all the way up this street, right? And I get to this point here, and I need to do something, right? So I stopped, put the car in park, and looked to see which way was going. Now, it wasn't flooded, but it became flooded all the way up until maybe this point here, all right? And the only dry ground was where my car is. I thought maybe if I go this way it'd be easier, but this part was flooded. That part was flooded, and I wasn't going to a dead end. So I was able to get my car right here. And as I get to like right here with the car, a lady named Rachel, she's from Grenada, all right? Big up to all my Caribbean massive. So as I'm like pushing it, she stops the car. Do you need help? And I'm like, no, I don't want you getting out to help me. I have to do this because it's my car, but I don't want you getting hurt on my account. She said, oh, no, all right, but is there anywhere I can take you? I was like, that's very nice of you. Like, you don't even know me. First off, it's mad dark, right? I'm in a hoodie. I'm a black man. And you offer me a ride? I said, first off, thank you. Second, all right, I'm one of the nice guys, so I'm glad. I'm one of the nice guys. But I was like, wow, there's people in this world who would still be willing to help. And here's what's key about this story. She was trying to get to her 15-year-old daughter who was getting her nails done. She was from a different town, different city. So she's trying to get to her daughter and sees me in my crisis and offers to help me. And offers to help me. And I'm like, yo, guys, there's 11 of you guys watching. Hit that like button, okay? Now 9. But still, hit that like button, all right? So I wind up, so I'm just happy that people still have it in their hearts to want to help people, all right? Humanity has some amazing qualities to us. We do. So I manually put the car, tried to park it as best as I could. The car wasn't starting. And got in her car, and we set out to try to go get to her daughter before dropping me off. And I grabbed one of the drive vacs to come with me. We're driving, trying to find a safe route to her. And every single place we went to, every street almost was flooded. I tried to show her around main streets, and we got to one of the main streets, flooded. We got to a point where we were 2 blocks away from where her daughter was. And the only way to get to her was to cross waist-deep water in her car or walk across. I had offered to walk across and carry her back, but her mother, said she doesn't want to put me in danger, and it may, endanger her if I'm walking and I fall. So, that makes sense. But I was willing to, to go get her. Like we spent about 45 minutes to an hour trying to get to her daughter and couldn't get to her daughter. Ultimately, it ended up with her daughter having like 9% battery in her phone. And they called the police in hopes to get some assistance. I'm not sure what happened after that. I didn't exchange numbers with her. I'm praying that everything was fine. But if you guys know a lady named Rachel from Grenada with a 15-year-old daughter, and she's from the New York City area, please let her know I said thank you. Like, I was so thankful. So after a while, she said, all right, I'll take you home. And I said, no, I need you to stay with your baby. Like, do not come and drop me home. Like, you stay here with your baby, okay? I'll be good. I'm about 1.5 miles away from home. I grab my wet dry vac and I walk it. And by the way, it was like torrential rain still. But I didn't want her to leave her daughter. Her daughter felt safe just with her mother being 2 blocks away. And then having to hear that she's taking me home. And by the way, she could not have taken me home. And I'm going to explain to you why. Taking me home, would have put her in a little bit of distress. So I said, no, stay here. You're 2 blocks away. Everything's going to work out. So, she popped her trunk. She had like a crossover vehicle. I got my wet dry vac, and I started trekking home. And in my travels home, I realized that this wasn't the most intelligent decision to leave the house, Andre. So I'm walking through knee-deep to waist-deep water, trying to get home. And certain parts, certain intersections were like rivers of rushing water coming through. But I had to get home. And when I finally got home on my block, it was like, the river going into the Niagara Falls. Before it hits the falls, it was like that, right? But I wound up walking up the block. At this time, the box that the wet dry vac in was soaking wet and like crumbling, so I tried my best to carry it. Finally get home, and there's like water in the basement, like crazy water. And when I got home, my sons were working diligently trying to get as much water as they could. The sump pump was working, and yeah, man, they worked hard. Like, my boys were doing their thing, and I'm proud of them because they could have just left the water, but they was working. And when I got the wet dry vac, they continued to work. I got home. The flooding started about little after 8 o'clock, about 8:15 in my house. I got home from that whole ordeal about 11, a little after 11 o'clock. And we didn't stop to take a break or take a nap until like 4:30 this morning. So 4:30 this morning, I said, listen, guys, just go take a nap, and then we'll reconvene in about 2.5 hours. And I still got to call them to wake them up. But yeah, they worked so hard last night. They wouldn't let me do anything either. Like, so I'm trying to like help them with the wet dry vac. They said, no, we got it, Dad. You just relax. Yeah, they did their thing. So now we got to wake up and do more. But I'm in my car waiting for roadside assistance that won't be here till about 11 o'clock. It's like, 3 hours from now. So I'm chilling. And I want to go live and tell you about my ideal. But one thing I'm learning from this experience is that bad things happen. Well, things happen, right? And we deem it bad because it's an inconvenience to us. But if you stop and look at what's happening, you'll be able to see silver linings all around it. Like Rachel, who helped me out. Like my sons, who worked hard to help get the water out of the car. Like, although I was stalled, I was able to push the car in a place that was pretty safe. I'm just hoping that this isn't going to run me a lot of money to get this car started again, or to drain it, or that hopefully I won't need like a new engine, or I don't know how this goes, but yeah. So listen, there's good people in the world, and if you don't know any good people, then that's a problem, because you should be one of the good people that are out there. So be one of the good people. Be one of the ones that would be willing to help somebody in need. Of course, within the most safest conditions possible, because I don't want you to put yourself in harm's way in attempts to help somebody. But be wise. And I think, this world would be a much better place if we just reach out and help each other, That's right. There's always a silver lining. And thank you, Todd, man. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm chilling. But, yeah, I'm tired, though. I'm tired. But, yeah, just be kind and be helpful, because that's what this world needs. We need people that's willing to help and truly be community with one another, despite our religious beliefs, despite our differences of thought when it comes to lifestyle, all of that. We just got to be kind to one another, disagree respectfully, and be willing to help regardless, okay? Be willing to help regardless. All right, guys, I'm out. There's no theme music at the end of this because I ain't got my mixer with me. But I do appreciate you guys for watching. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you have not done so. By subscribing, you would be joining the Harrison Extended family. Hit the bell notifications. It'll let you know when I go live, like now, or upload new videos. And if you'd like to support the channel, hit join and be a channel member and be a Harrison Extended family member that way as well. All right, guys, I am out. To everybody who watched, I appreciate it. Everybody have a wonderful and safe day. And again, look for an opportunity to be kind to somebody. All right, pay it forward. I'm out. Peace.